Welcome, 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 everybody, to our weekly breakthrough mini trainings. And today I chose a topic that I think it is really familiar for everyone, and it is the procrastination and how to beat that procrastination monster. And yeah, so as I said, I think it's really affecting everybody at some level, in some forms, and on some like certain topics. And there is a short-term procrastination and the long-term procrastination. Short-term is when you have a deadline. Maybe there is a work task that you need to do, and there's a deadline to it, and then you wait until the very last minute and do all the other unnecessary things instead of doing that. Yeah, and at the very last minute, if you're lucky, you finish it in like 5 minutes and you're good to go, but you're stressing yourself out with that avoidance all through that time. And then there's the long-term one, when there is not really no like deadlines on it, but you know that is something that is important to you because you would benefit from it. And it could maybe even change your life or change your health. It would change your certain habits like food habits or whatever it is that you would like to achieve for yourself as a personal fulfillment, treating your body right, treating your mind right, or your business or whatever it is. There's no real deadline to it, but you know that your life will change if you do that, and you're still not doing it. There's something there and you're still not doing it. That little gremlin turns in, and from the moment, like the very moment you would step into that, you make that decision, right before that, it would just start turning the wheel to a totally different direction. And instead of doing that, it's like, oh yeah, I have like 5 other things more to do. I'm too busy today. I'm going to do it next time, or I'll start on it tomorrow. And oh no, I don't have the right tools, or oh yeah, I need a little bit more education than that, or no, I don't have the money for that. And like all those excuses that turn on and then will keep you away from manifesting, like really not manifesting that in reality. Yes. And what is that? Like, what's behind it? And I'll share this with my students in our training. So I'm going to share this little secrets with you, that your brain is not here to make you happy. Your brain is here to keep you safe. And safe means everything that is familiar. And when I say everything, it really is everything. All the bad, all the suffering, everything that you're in a situation that is not benefiting you, and you know that and you feel that and experience that, but it's still familiar. You know the pattern. Even if it's a relationship that is abusive and you really need to get out of that, you might even get beaten up every day, but it's familiar. And your brain is going to keep you in there because it's what's outside of it, you don't know. You might stay in an abusive relationship, and I don't want to use this as an ultimate example, but that's a good one. Like staying in a relationship that's not fulfilling, and you just keep pushing it to the side to get out of, even if you're really miserable. Same thing for a job, that it's not fulfilling. You might be doing a 9 to 5 and it's making you sick. I've been there. I'm really been there. And I knew that. And I still couldn't find a way out because, and I'll share the reasons what's behind it. All those biases that my brain created, that's the belief system. That's what it stands for. And so the brain will try to do everything just to keep you in that familiar, safe looking, even if it's not safe, but safe looking spot and situation. That's when it's going to put all the excuses on you and right in front of you, saying like, oh no, you don't have enough time for that. Oh, next time. Oh, if I get out of here, I'll be unsafe. Or it's just, we don't know what's after that. So that's challenging. And everything that's new, your brain will consider as unsafe. So then you'll face all the excuses that it's going to put in you or put in front of you. And there are some quick tools that we can use to break the pattern a little bit. So I'll share a few, but what I really want to get into is the reason what's behind that. So why do we have the procrastination itself, besides the brain, well, why the brain consider those as unsafe, and what is the pattern there and how to get out of that part. So, but some quick tools could be lower the bar a little bit. So set the bar a little lower instead of thinking or saying like, oh yeah, I start getting healthier, or I'm gonna create a business and serve hundreds of people, or who knows. Like, it's great to have those big goals, but when you don't break it down and you don't make it seem to or feel that it's achievable, and you don't see the steps in it, now that's already could create a lot of procrastination, because it's just a little too big. You don't even know how to start or where to start. So set it a little lower. And just a tiny little example from like about exercise. And for me, it was yoga. I really wanted to do yoga every day, but I kept procrastinating because I don't have like an hour or hour and a half to do that exercise daily. So I hardly ever done that. Not hardly, but maybe just once a week or twice a week. And once I set the bar a little lower and I realized, oh, I can do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. You can go for a 10-minute walk or a 15-minute jog, or to do a few minutes of yoga and stretching. That is going to benefit you so much better than doing an hour once a week. So that could be one. And create, also reverse engineer the big plan and breaking it down from that, like looking back, what do I need to get here, and make an action step, like planning it out and put it in your schedule. So that's another thing, like, okay, action step, 5 minutes a day, I'm going to work on that, and you block that time off just for that in your schedule. So those are little tools. And also turning off distractions, setting the timer like 25 minutes windows, and you give yourself a 5-minute break and reward yourself of those steps when you achieve that, when you did like a 25 minutes in there. And so those can help. But another thing that I want to talk about here, procrastination is not a personality thing. There's no such thing that, oh, I'm a procrastinator. So, and that's again another excuse. Oh, I'm a procrastinator, so I'm probably not going to do that, just tomorrow. So, but there's no such thing. This is a habit, not a personality, which means we can break that habit. But so first of all, we need to understand what is behind that habit, and what actually procrastination it is actually a way of relieving stress, because there is a fear behind it. There is something, a story that makes you uncomfortable, and that creates the stress. And when you avoid that with that, look, I'll do that tomorrow, that's a stress relief. So that's the pattern, that's the habit, and we condition ourselves for that. So the trigger may not be, you may not be able to remove the trigger itself, because you may not be able to take the stress out of it, but we can address the fear behind it. So that's the real core that I want to get to. That's the very important part. But first, we can break that habit a little bit with some tools that I shared already. And also another really great thing, or like, it's more like an easy fix for the breaking the habit part, is first of all, acknowledge when you catch yourself on the procrastination. Anytime you say like, yeah, I'll do that tomorrow, or like, oh no, I have other things to do, and you pick like all on your to-do list, you pick all the things that are, yeah, you should do them, but they're not the burning ones, because of course the ones that you keep avoiding, the most important ones, but those are the most uncomfortable ones, because it puts you into a position where it's kind of unfamiliar for your brain, or maybe it is familiar and it's triggering you. So, but acknowledging, okay, I have this, and the procrastination itself, and acknowledging the stress. It is causing me stress because, and just to take a note on that. And then count down from 5 to 1, 0. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That will bring you into your prefrontal cortex, and that will break that cycle, that habit. And then you just sit down and do 5 minutes of that specific thing that you need to work on, or you want to work on, to be able to get there, whatever goal you have there. And the studies show once you start and do the 5 minutes, then most of the people, like 80% of the people, will continue or even finish it. But so this is the habit part. What's really in the core, and then we need, really important, we need to talk about that part. What is the belief behind it? What is the fear behind it? And the beliefs, the limiting beliefs, are based on those core fears and emotions that's creating that, the stress that you're trying to avoid. So addressing those, finding those, it's critical. But what is it? Like, are you afraid of showing up and putting yourself out there? Let's say if you're working on your business, or you're for manifesting your purpose. Or are you afraid of the failure? What if I put myself in it and I fail? For a lot of people, I had that for so long. I had to work on it really hard to not have that trigger me. Well, it is, in a way, they're always going to be there. And in a way, that's another long topic, but in a way they serve us, because we can turn those fears into empowerment. But so for beating the procrastination monster, we actually need to tame it. We need to tame that fear dragon that's behind it. And we need to be friends with it in a way that we can turn that into empowerment. So finding the core, what is behind it? Is it something that triggers an old memory that you got, maybe, shamed of, like, about something that you did and you're afraid it's going to happen, like making a mistake and people made fun of you? Or what is that for you? So that's the call. That's what I want to invite you to dive in. And you probably already know that. We usually know that. There is one question, though, that I want you also to think about. And a lot of my clients have that, like, behind the procrastination and the issues and making the change. What is your secrets, unspoken, hidden benefit from staying in that loop, from not breaking free and not breaking out of that situation that it's not benefiting you? Mostly, like maybe 95%, maybe 99%. But some of us has some kind of a benefit, which benefit and not benefit, that's when we need to put them on the scale. So staying in a relationship that doesn't serve you could trigger a fear. What if I come out of that relationship? Yeah, I'll be relieved, but what if I'll be lonely after that? What if there are financial issues? A lot of people has those benefits of that false safety, and they stay in situations that are absolutely toxic. And I'm not just talking about certain relationships, but I'm talking about even work, anything that is not fulfilling will drain your energy. Anything that's not fulfilling emotionally, mentally, spiritually, then you leak the energy out and it's going to eat you up. And so it's not sustainable. When you don't serve yourself, when you don't put those, in a way, side benefits, which are important, but when you put your well-being and survival on the scale. So that's why I'm inviting you. And a lot of us would say, like, oh, no, I don't have those. But just really dive deep in. Like, you don't need to put that in the chat. You don't need to admit it to anybody but yourself. And that wasn't a big work that I had to do on myself as well. Business-wise as well. Yes. So yeah, dive into that a little and what's behind it. And are you making yourself important enough that scale could finally go to the direction, or that side will finally down, that what you would like to. Because you do need to make that commitment. If you're not making the commitment for yourself and choosing yourself, you can't serve others sustainably either. And it's true for your own children as well. If you suffer and you sacrifice yourself and your needs because of anything else, something else, your clients, your children, whatever it is, that is not sustainable. And they are going to sense that for you. So are you choosing yourself? And if not, why aren't you choosing yourself? And if you have those like, oh, I don't have the time, or I don't know how to get the money for that to like live my dream, or finally shift things around, whatever it is for you, whatever your own goal is. If you catch yourself having those excuses turn on, and just yeah, it's just not the right time. Like, what is behind that? It's most of the time, it's not the time. It's not even the money. If you really choose yourself and you make yourself important, and that goal important, bigger than your comfort zone, you'll find a way to find that money source, to be resourceful and finding the resources for that, and the time as well. And it's not just, do I really not have the time? Or is it coming from a place of unworthiness? So I'm not feeling worthy enough to choosing myself, to serve myself. So I would crave that time out, because if that's important enough, you'll find the time, believe me, and you know that. So if you catch yourself not stepping up for yourself and choose yourself, your health, your well-being, your wealth, your sacred mission, your purpose, and if you have those excuses turn on and the procrastination, the monster creeping up on you, I have good news, because we can peel off those layers and find the real core answers and the reasons behind it, and we can address them. You can let them go. You can release them, and you can be free. But you have to choose yourself, and you have to commit to yourself to be able to fully be present for your loved ones, for yourself, and for your dreams, because that's when you can really serve others the level you would like. That's when you will be the example that people follow. If you don't take good care of yourself, other people are going to sense that. As I said, your clients are going to sense that. If you don't commit to yourself energetically, and that's another little quantum from here, how can you expect others to commit to you? So if you do catch yourself with these, being caught in these thoughts, then reach out to me. Yeah, because we have a lot to talk about, and I'm here to make those manifest in reality, those your full potential and your sacred mission and purpose, to manifest that in reality. So blessings.